up your engine! Well, today I'm going to tell you the truth about this Mazda CX-9. This particular one is a 2008, the second year they made them. Now, strangely enough, Mazda, even though these are all made in Hiroshima, Japan, never sold a CX-9 in Japan because it's a little too big and it gets a tremendous amount of tax by the Japanese government. They sell a CX-8. Now, this is a little bit bigger. And yes, it's made in Hiroshima. There it is, made in Japan. But when we look under the hood, what do we find? It is a Ford 3.7 liter V6 double overhead cam engine. You can tell the liter by looking at the top. 3.7 liter. Now, these engines can last quite some time and are very smooth, but they have one tremendous drawback. Inside here, the front of the engine, the timing belt is run by a metal timing chain. So if the water pump goes out, it can break and then it can shoot water inside the engine, which will instantly ruin the engine if you're going at highway speeds. The water mixes with the oil, and on top of that, if it breaks off, then the timing chain will break, then the pistons can hit the valves. It's a very expensive thing if something goes wrong. There are presently class action suits against Ford for this engine, but it looks like they're throwing most of them out. Oh, guess what? The judges side with the corporations. Who didn't see that one coming? And you might think, okay, well, I'll just change the water pump more frequently. Well, in this design, not so easily done. You have to pull the engine and transmission out as a unit, and it is at least an $1,800 job if you pay a professional mechanic to do it. They claim it is 14.2 hours labor at $100-something an hour. The pump's about $170, but the main thing is you got to take the whole engine and transmission out. It is a gigantic job. But on the plus side, the water pumps are pretty well made, and if you keep changing the coolant, that's what I'm doing on this car now. I'm exchanging the coolant for the good Japanese coolant that can last for 7 years, 150,000 miles. That generally keeps the water pumps running smooth. Corrosion eats them up. You keep the coolant cool, they can last an awful long time. Just don't think, oh, it's a Ford engine, real easy to change a water pump. Not on this 3.7 liter, especially not put into this SUV where you got to pull the engine and transmission out to do the job. But let's look at the overall vehicle. When it was new, this particular one went for about $33,000, brand new. My customer bought it for $11,000 when it had 80,000 miles on it. It now has 139,788 miles on it. Her daughter fooled her one time, said she was buying her car, drove it all around the United States. You know what kind of money she's put into this car? Practically nothing, just oil changes, brake pads, no big money. And it still runs really well. And with this big 3.7 liter Ford engine hooked up to the 6-speed shiftable transmission, it actually rides quite well. That's the thing about Mazdas. Their Zoom Zoom isn't just BS advertising. They make these things. This rides quite well. It's plenty quick enough for its size. It does have 274 horsepower. That's 6-speed shiftable automatic transmission. I've yet to see any problems in these things. It's a pretty reliable unit. Just remember, change the coolant all the time. You don't want that water pump breaking. So let's check the interior. The exterior is still in excellent shape, even though it's 13 years old. And the interior, I gotta say the same. Seats are still in good shape. There's a lot of junk in it because it's used all the time. But other than the usual wrinkle on the side, the leather, it's in excellent shape. The engine starts right up. It's got fancy Bose sound system. Nice silver and black interior. Pretty comfy. Lots of headspace. Now as we egress and check out the back, you can see, other than the stuff she's got in it, got a nice back. The back hasn't been used much. It's clean. It's got the good air conditioning and heating setup for the people in the back. It isn't some slouch. And you can see it's got the fancy Bose. This is the top of the line model. And like I've already said, these ride quite well. They're a comfy SUV. And when we check the very back, check this out. We'll open it up. And not only does it have a nice amount of space, look at all that space. You want another row of seats? There's a seat here and there's one over here, but I'm too lazy to pull it up. You can have a lot of people riding in this car in comfort. Now you notice it's got a little tow hitch on it. Not a monster tower, but it does have the Ford V6 engine. This is set up that you can tow up to 2,000 pounds if you have to. Maybe you got a little sailboat or something. But do you really need to tow anything? It's got all that space inside, and it's got a nice roof rack that you can stick a bunch of stuff on too. Now considering that my customer paid 11 grand for it and has put on like 60,000 miles pretty much trouble free, I'd say she got a fantastic deal. There's nothing wrong with buying these things secondhand. When it was new, 34 grand. She paid 11. She paid less than 1/3 of the original price. And it may have a lot more than 2/3 of its lifespan left. We'll take it for a ride now, show you how it rides. The first thing I notice is it's quiet and smooth. It may be 13 years old and have 139,788 miles on it, but it is a smooth vehicle. When you step on the brakes, very responsive for an SUV. Stops quick. And when you corner, this thing corners more like a car than an SUV, to tell you the truth. Let's see how it accelerates. It's spinning the tires. This thing has plenty of zip. Transmission still shifts firmly. You want to go cruising down a highway in this thing, you're going to be comfortable. It's not bouncy. It's got a nice ride, like I say, more like a car, but it's got plenty of zip. It isn't one of those SUVs that's a dog. And like most Mazdas made in Japan, everything on it still works. The AC is still freezing cold and it's never been touched. It's still got the original shocks and struts on it, and it still rides pretty good. And when you compare the power and the handling and the ride, hey, it's a pretty quality SUV, I have to admit. I mean, really, how many cars with 139,000 miles idle as smooth as this thing and are just quiet? Now, the only problem I really find in this car is if you drive it a while, the BSM light flashes on and off. That's the stupid blind side module to keep you from being hit by cars that you don't see, because the blind side, any car, when they get to be as old as this, 13 years old, those systems aren't going to last. They don't. I see them break down all the time. Don't trust electronics to save you in a 13-year-old car. I wouldn't even trust them on a new car, certainly not a 13-year-old one. So overall, I gotta say, this is a pretty good car. Hey, she bought it for less than 1/3 of the original price. Car's held up well. If somebody brought me this car today and was going to buy it, I would say, go ahead and buy it. It's a quality built car made in Hiroshima, Japan. Japanese workers who care about the vehicles. This thing is still one solid vehicle that still handles well, has plenty of acceleration, it burned out on the tires, rides well, even though it's still got the original struts on it. This is a very good SUV. Now, yeah, I'm a cheapskate. I would never pay 34 grand new for one, which it was back then. But 10 grand or less, I certainly think about that. And now I'm going to go and change the coolant and the thermostat in it, because I don't want that water pump to go out of my customer. Clean coolant, they can last an awful long time. The dirty coolant can eat through the seals, then goodbye water pump. This doesn't cost much. When you see it's going to cost you $1,500, $1,700 to change the water pump out, change your coolant every 5 or 7 years if you're using the Asian stuff. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Mustafa Kabani says, Acura 2008 TSX, burning oil, 150,000 miles. What do you think is the reason? Well, it's a combination of two things. One, that's a pretty fast car. Most people drive the heck out of it. And the other thing is, some of the people believe that baloney that they give you at the dealership. You can change your oil every 12, 15,000 miles. Yeah, you can, but guess what? Then when your engine is 150,000 miles and the warranty is long in the past, it'll start burning oil. And they'll say, oh, well, you need to rebuild your engine. Why don't you just buy a new car? They want to sell you a new car, right? It's a combination of not changing the oil enough, maybe driving a little bit too fast, and it is a high-tech engine. And a lot of them do burn oil with that mileage from not changing the oil religiously enough, and from driving it hard, and from it being a fancy Honda racing engine that does have a lot of power, and the more power you have, generally, the faster an engine will wear out. Frosty Thundertrod says, I replaced the heater core on my 95 Buick Roadmaster. It still has no heat. Any more ideas? Heater systems are a lot more complex than they used to be. When I was a young mechanic, they were real simple. There was a thermostat that would open and close. If your temperature gauge runs in the middle, that's still working. You would pull a lever that would go cold to hot, and that actually opened the valve that let hot water go in the heater core, and then when you closed it, it closed. Very simple. Today, even in that 95, it's all run by computers. There's actuators. It's what's called a blend door, so that the hot water's always going through your heater core, but the box that it's inside is closed normally at the time. The blend door is closed. And then when you want heat, you turn on heat, the computer decides how far it's going to open the blend door so the air now blows through the heater core and then blows out the other side in your face. So it could be that blend door is broken. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Heaters are a lot more complex than they used to be. Even in 1995, they had a lot of computer crap in them. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.